Good morning. It is May 7th, and we started the new 21 Weeks of Art for May on the 1st. At least some of you may have. I have not. It has been a crazy, crazy week, and it was the last week of teaching at Florida Southern. Woohoo! I am so excited, but I had presentations and portfolios and art journals and all that to grade. So I really didn't do much art at all this past week. So I am going to do a marathon wink video. It's probably not that long because my winks are usually pretty short. And I'm going to try to do winks 1 through 7 to get caught up because I love doing these winks. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm in my big book like I love, and I've got my winks up here, and number 1 is blooming. And let me grab my paintbrushes. And I am not going to draw anything. I am just going to start painting. So I'm looking for a shader. There we go. An angled shader is what I want. And you know, I seem to always be doing kind of some big sprays down this side, and I really like how that has been. So I am going to do that. I have to bloom. You know, when I get kind of further away on one side, I go shorter in my petals. Because it's from a different angle. And I think I'm going to do another one. And then, you know, if I do another one, I'm going to have to do a third one because I do everything in threes. Let's do a teal. Want it behind that purple one. Yep, I'm going to do one more. Let's do it over here. And you know what? Actually, you know what I'm going to do there? I think I'm going to do a different kind of flower. Let's see if we can do a sunflower. Maybe I'll just do it so it's a partial flower, or that we're looking at it from this side. Let's do it like that. Go ahead and put some. That didn't come out dark enough, did it? There needs to be one more right there. And one more right there. And you know what? I need to have a little right there. Maybe just around the whole thing, but just a little short part. I didn't think that was looking right. I like that better. Try a bit. Beautiful. Alright, usually I don't do this much, but on the first one of the month, a lot of times I do spend this much time, and other times it's just like a couple minutes, but I really had some ideas. And I think some orange over here a little bit more. And I think that might be it. I'm not quite sure the white's going to show up. So I might do that with a pencil after that dries. All right. So that is number 1, blooming. Number 2, pensive. Pensive. Well, usually I would think of a face. I think I've got something. I have been very pensive lately. And curious, I guess. Let me see. Oops. Making some noise. Sometimes I draw first. And sometimes I just go and hope for the best, but kind of deal with what comes. had to think about a question mark. A bit. Yeah, I've been kind of soul searching lately. My curly hair coming out of the question mark. I've been soul searching about my curly hair. My curls, for some reason. Maybe it's the weather, but I think the last cut I got, last trim, they cut away my curls. Which, if it went straight, that's one thing. It just went frizz. So, let that float around. Scratch out some of that. This is the back tip of a brush, by the way. It has a nice point to it. You have to wait. You have to find the right drying time because, as you can see, this is a little wet. Well, it's working now, but up here was a little puddly, so that's not really working too well. And this down here is working really well, but it's short-lived, so you have to kind of work fast. Longer. It's kind of my bush though. My hair is really bushy. Just playing. And then because I want to be positive and staying kind of within the realm of blooming this month, I go ahead and bloom a pretty flower. So I'm only using watercolors. If I was using some of my gouache, I would come in there with some white maybe, but with some white gouache, but I'm just using watercolors on this. So what I'm doing to go back to getting a little bit lighter after having all that dark is going for my pastels. So this pastel pink will be nice in there. I think I'm just going to leave that one flower, or that one part. I'm going to put a little bit of blue center in there, and then maybe, I don't know if this is going to show up, but kind of like a little band or something. Right. Let's do a little bit of orange down the middle. Okay, so pensive, question mark. Remember about the question mark right there? Oh, I had yellow on my brush, so there's the question mark. And I might even take and make that a little bit bigger. Question mark. Okie doke. Fabulous. Next one is going someplace pretty. Going someplace pretty. So that's a play on what we just did in art journaling. And we did a truck. And let's see. If I'm going someplace pretty, you know, part of it was that I'm taking the pretty with me. So this is one that I probably should be drawing with a pencil first, but you know what, I'm living on the wild side. This is all in my head. Scary thought. Going someplace pretty. So this was based, 'cause if you weren't in my art journaling class, this truck, and this is definitely not what we did in art journaling class, but just playing around. But this truck was based on an intuitive painting I did years ago, where I had no intention of doing a truck, and it just kind of appeared in one of my mixed media pieces with plant stained papers. And I took it to I sold it at Epcot, and I sold it to somebody who just was walking by and all of a sudden connected with the energy of it. And I mean, she spun around. It was the weirdest thing that happened a few times at Epcot, is that people were walking by and all of a sudden they would just like turn and have a beeline to something. And the first time it happened was my first gig there, and I watched it happen. And then this was another one that I saw happen right before my eyes, and I just thought it was really amazing that somebody could feel the energy, connect them so much. And anyway, she bought it on the spot, and it was just exciting because, you always, as an artist, you always want somebody to really appreciate your work. And that was just amazing. So I've always in my mind have this truck that is the metaphor, the symbol of going someplace pretty, because you're taking it. You're taking the pretty. And that pretty is your kindness, your soul, your words, but your energy more than anything. So just to kind of go back on the winks, I don't have these planned, and even though I make the winks, sometimes when I'm making the winks, I might think of something that I would do, and so that's why I put that wink in there. But when I actually go to my book to do my winks, first of all, I don't ever remember what I had thought of before anyways. And secondly, I let it evolve from where I am in that exact moment. And I love it that way. I love it that way. Some yellow. Because it's just so authentic. It's so what I'm doing, I'm going through right now, or feeling right now, and right in the moment. And one reason why I like to do the winks, obviously, daily, individually, is because my moods change. But I've learned over the past 4 months of doing these, is that even though my mood changes, my personal style always comes through. And that makes me really, really happy, because it makes me trust my core. And that's a good thing, to trust your core. So, all right. So, woohoo! I love that. Going someplace pretty. So that is that one. Oh, number 4 is checks. I just stuck my finger in my wet paint. Number 4 is checks. And so I have this thing about polka dots, checks, and stripes. I'm going to use this one. And that came from a is it a Peter Paul and Mary did a Peter Paul and Mommy CD when my kids were young. We had that. And they did this thing called, they did a song called Polka Dots, Checks, and Stripes. And so I always think of that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it over here. So I'm interpreting checks to actually be like a checkerboard. And again, You know, if you wanted it lined up and even, then you could do that. Or actually, you can do whatever you think of for your checks. It could be you could make a personal check to somebody and put it, you know, draw that. You could do check marks. You could, whatever you want. I mean, obviously this is yours. Let me just do 3 rows. And obviously they are not lined up. And they might look more like polka dots to somebody, but I know they're my checkerboard. So checks. There we go. See, sometimes really fast. Oh, 5 is tiki. Tiki. So, tiki. So, I always think of drinks. And let me see what I'm going to do. A tiki drink. So, oh, I know what kind of tiki drink. The best kind would be a pineapple drink. Where do I want to do that? I think I'm going to do it maybe right here. It might be like my pensive face is actually drinking. That makes sense. While being pensive, right? Tiki. Tiki makes me think of a cocktail out of a pineapple. Trust me, I'm getting there. I'm using 2 different yellows, by the way. The first couple months I was using a pencil and putting the number of the wink somewhere hidden around the illustration that I did, and then I think I stopped last month because I was like, you know, connecting to one of the winks is not the point. The wink was the prompt, and the story is bigger than each individual day. The story is the illustrations of the 21 days that shows my evolution of that month. Doesn't matter which day I did what thing, it just shows that I had a journey that meant something to me and my growth. I'm going to make that a little bit wider over there. And every good tiki drink has an umbrella, right? And maybe even a fancy straw. Let's see, let's do a pastel or tropical straw. Reusable, of course. Gotta be socially conscientious. And I think I want to put some foam in there somehow, and I might do it, I don't know why I'm doing it with green. I'll just start the green a little bit right there, and then put some orange foam. How about that? So at Disney's Hollywood Studios, there's this one bar area that has amazing drink areas or drinks, cocktails, and it's oh, so good. The foam is actually a fruit foam, so it's non-dairy, which is great because I'm vegan. However, I am vegan plus desserts. So sometimes I'll do even some foam if there's just a little bit of dairy. I can't do a lot. And anyways, they have the best foam. It's a spray foam that they put on the top of drinks. And it's just delightful. Absolutely delightful. Okay, so I'm going to put some hot pink in some of this. Get this a little bit more doodad up for a tropical tiki drink umbrella. Very yum. It's the little details. That's what I love. I love going back and doing these little details. Yum. Okay, so tiki. I'm having a big, nice tiki drink while I am being pensive. How true is that? Okay, the next one is looking down the street. Looking down the street. So, I thought about this, and when I look down the street, my favorite street to look down is this street that is in Indian Rocks Beach. And we park there. In fact, I'm going to do it over here. We park there, and it's right by the French patisserie. And we buy crepes and, oh yes, pastry, so that we can enjoy those wonderful yummies on the beach while we are laying in the sun. And so my favorite street is actually, it's the street into where we park, because at that end of the street you can see the beach and the water and the sand, which is my favorite part. One of the things that I have really enjoyed about the Winks is intertwining different aspects, and one of the reasons why I'm doing this over here, again near my pensive face, my question mark, is because that's my favorite place to go to feel like I am reflecting over different things and giving it the amount of time that I need to give topics to make decisions. And oops, I didn't mean for that to be green, so I'm gonna get some more blue. And you know, it's just, I'm such a beach person. I just love the sand. I'm not crazy. I'm not as crazy about the water, but I do love the sand. And the water, I love the sound of the water. And so my happy place, my happiest place, happiest place is by the sun, under the sun, at a beach, with the water flowing in the background, my feet in the sand, and just enjoying. So I think put some sand in there. Beach. What's that? That's what I see down the road. That's my favorite view. The sky reflects the purples, the areas around, and blues, and just putting in a little bit of darkness so you can see kind of this horizon area before we go into the sky. And then I'm going to get my pastels back out, and I'm going to put in a little bit of pink just to kind of reflect that sun. It should be white. So what I do is I'm putting that pink in because the white on top of, if I put yellow in, it would turn green, right? Because it's on top of blue. And if I put the pink in and then go back with the white, it may show up a little bit better. Sometimes I would use blue, but and if the white watercolor doesn't work, then I would take my white Al Stabilo pencil, which it looks, I'm not waiting long enough for this pink to dry, so I could be more patient maybe. The whites, see how the white is starting to show though? If you wait long enough. Put some yellow in there. Just dot it in there and then pull it through. And now some white again. Make that more luminescent to to make it more luminescent. I said luminescent. I mean to illuminate the space and make it more luminescent. How about that? I like that. Get this up here. Okay, and I think I'm gonna just add a little bit of pink in here. Kind of break that off so it starts to show further down. Yeah, that's my favorite view. Absolutely favorite. I mean, really, I can right now feel like I'm there. I wish I was there. It was my plan to go there this week. I didn't make it. It's only about an hour away from here, but did not get the chance. So pretty. Okay. And then today, oh no, number 7. Yeah, I almost read number 8. Number 7, I caught it. I caught it. Well, I don't want to catch anything living like butterflies or anything like that, because that's not fun to play with their little lives. But I'll tell you, the way that I like to catch things is with a camera. So I caught it. I caught the picture. That's how I'm going to do that. Let's see. The button would be over here, maybe. And remember, this is my camera, so I can make it look however I want it to look. Looks like a face. I don't want it to look like a smiley face in there. I didn't want it to look like that. And my camera, of course, would be mostly purple. So pull that away. Have kind of this ombre look from dark to light. And maybe a little find my right brush. Strap. So now I'm going to line that out. A little bit of darkness under there. So yeah, I like that. I didn't draw anything first on any of these buttons. Or any of these winks. I just played. So there you go. I spent about 45 minutes and did 7 winks. I have to say, again, I really like doing them one at a time each night. But this was a great way to catch up, and I'm hoping I'm traveling a lot this month, and I'm just gonna have to take my book with me because it is one of my favorite practices. So yay, I'm so excited, and I just wanted to share with you how I do them because they don't have to be intense or involved or anything. It's really about just what comes to your mind and how can you illustrate it. And as you can tell, I'm just whimsical anyways. I don't really do a lot of detailed drawing, and I have some fun with it. So if you haven't gotten your 21 Winks of Art for May, go to RachelleEason.com. There is a link right there. I think it's at the top of my homepage. If not, scroll down a little bit, but it is somewhere down there, and you can just click on the button and you'll get your winks to download. So enjoy. Happy May.